So Pete Buttigieg has been confirmed as transportation secretary. You can play the little video, Johnny, if
From
you
the
want.
Hill?
Yeah, just play the little video while I
we're
I
not
talk
gonna worry
over
about
it.
YouTube taking us down. It's like,
Yeah, that's fine. While I talk over it,
it
I
just says,
have
yeah. Go ahead.
I have the Senate, the actual
Is there
United
anyone
States
in the
Senate
chamber who would
legislation.
like to vote or change his or her vote? If not, the yeas are 86, the nays are 13. The nomination is confirmed.
So yeah, they confirmed it. Yeas 86, nays 13. If you show the Senate, it was a roll call vote, 117th Congress, the first session, because this is the first session of the new Congress. And he got an overwhelming amount of yays, including by some of those. If you scroll, you got, let's see, you got Sanders, you got Feinstein, you got Warren, you got everybody voted for him. The only nays were a Republican not voting, and then most of the nays were all Republicans. There's not a single Democrat that didn't vote for Pete Buttigieg. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I guess it goes to the argument, fam. Well, listen, we let Trump get his nominations in.
Right.
They should let us get our nominations
Right.
in. So, I mean, yeah, I get it.
I just have a list of things to remind you guys who Pete Buttigieg is, because I think some people forgot. They have a selective amnesia in America, right? We're a country of amnesia.
United States of Amnesia is what Gore Vidal used to call us.
No, we really are. Okay, so here's flashback day today. CNN town hall, if you guys remember that. Pete Buttigieg said he'd take Bloomberg's money in the spirit of unity. But then he also admitted that Bloomberg was trying to buy the nominations and said that's what's wrong with our system, claiming his campaign was built from nothing. Ironically, he forgot about the wine caves that he was at. So
there was a lot of big dark money, fam,
video.
right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of big, fam used to point out in that video that you did, a lot of dark money going to Pete Buttigieg's ways. Red flags.
But he would not commit to accepting money from Michael Bloomberg if Michael Bloomberg is not the Democratic nominee, right? He's pledged to help whoever is. Would you take his money and his support if you are the nominee?
Sure. Look, right now, obviously, I'm competing against Mayor Bloomberg. We have, I think, different approaches and different visions. But, his philanthropy supported a $1 million effort in our community to help low-income people get transportation to go to work. I'm not going to reject that help because it came from a very wealthy person. This is the moment to bring everybody that we can into this effort. And I promise exactly one thing in return for any contribution, which is we're going to take that contribution and use it to go beat Donald Trump.
You talk about something he did in your community, but obviously Amy Klobuchar has said Bloomberg is, her words, she's hiding behind his ad spending. Elizabeth Warren says he's bought his way onto the debate stage. Bernie Sanders has accused him of trying to buy the entire election. Pretty simple question, yes or no. Do you think Michael Bloomberg is trying to buy the Democratic nomination for president?
Yes. Yes. What else do you call it when you dip into your endless reserves of millions and billions and don't go through the process of campaigning in states like Nevada or Iowa or New Hampshire, humbling yourself, going into the diners and the backyards, looking eye to eye to vote? Look, my campaign wouldn't exist if all that mattered was how much money and fame you start with and how you get yourself on the air. We built this thing from nothing. And we built it by having those conversations and letting voters pick apart what you have to say. And to try to just go around that by throwing colossal sums of money on television shows you what's wrong with our system.
Michael Bloomberg, if Michael Bloomberg is not the Democratic nominee, right? He's pledged to help whoever is. Would you take his money and his support if you are the nominee?
Sure.
I want to hear that sure one more time, fam, because
oh my gosh.
because this what this is a really dark thing of manufacturing consent to take dark money from people saying, "Oh, I can take that money from them and they're not going to influence me whatsoever." Yeah, sure, I'll take that money and we can still do the right thing with it. No, you cannot.
And
they
he
don't
knows that.
give you the money unless they expect something in return. Sorry, fam.
No, he knows that. He knows that. Okay, so that picture of him. Okay, so back to February 10th of 2020. You know, if you guys recall, Bernie was doing great. It was a good time. People were happy. There was no coronavirus. Everything was great. Let's take a moment to reflect. And then Pete Buttigieg comes and he signaled a guard to kick out a journalist Pasta, if you guys recall this. I didn't. You found it? Okay, we'll play it in a minute. He tried to remove credentials from another and attack the cameraman. There was links to the shadow app. We were talking about this way back then, and Iowa Democratic Party members. Ex-organizer working as a Nevada voter protection director. His ex-organizer was obviously involved. So let's play the video where Pasta gets manhandled. Well, he should have been wearing a Tulsi shirt.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Dore retweeted. He said, another reporter beat Pete Buttigieg goons roughing up the press, this time at Yo Pasta. If Trump's people were doing this, CNN and MSNBC would be screaming and creating a narrative around his violent thugs harassing journalists. So Pasta said, at a rally in New Hampshire where I patiently waited to ask Pete Buttigieg if he would pardon Julian Assange. Well, since I was wearing a Tulsi Gabbard shirt, his campaign signaled a security guard who grabbed me when I clearly didn't obstruct anyone.
What's up? You mind taking a step over?
There's no way I can go. It's not here.
Mayor Pete, will you pardon Julian Assange? Will you pardon Julian Assange? Pete, will you pardon Julian Assange? Pete, will you pardon Julian Assange? You're not allowed to grab me. I'm not just on film. Why are you grabbing me? Because you're going to I would like to speak to your supervisor right now. Please. Please, let me go. I would like his supervisor right now. What's your name, sir? Calm down. No, he was grabbing me and throwing me out of the way.
You're going to an exit that you're not
I was going this way. I have a trespass.
It doesn't matter. You can't
You're
go
not
this
allowed
way.
to grab me and touch me.
Relax.
No, I want his name. I want to speak to his supervisor. You just grabbed me. Why did you grab me?
Because I was protecting somebody.
No, you did not. You were grabbing me out of the way because I have a Tulsi shirt on. You
It has nothing to do with that.
Oh shit! You just grabbed me to throw me out of the way.
Please watch
Can you take care of him? You just grabbed me. I have
So wearing
Would you like me to just put it out?
I told you not to
On the
put that
internet?
shirt on.
I didn't think I was staying there because
What is your name, sir?
Fiorella.
You don't have to give me your name. Okay, so we're just in the event.
Look at that guy pulls out his
Throw
stuff.
me out of the
He's
way.
like,
I was over here. He just grabbed me to throw me out of the way because he didn't want me asking a question. He grabbed me. He can't grab me.
Pasta went full Karen.
He's protecting the door.
He was grabbing me. I was right over here. I wasn't near the door. I was in this way, right here. Would you like me to show you the footage? He grabbed me. I was right here, not blocking the door. You don't grab people. That's what the event staff does, right there. If somebody's wearing a Tulsi shirt, they grab him to throw him out of the way. That's exactly what the case is. He came and followed me, this guy. Thank you, guys.
That's why the camera went shooting up in the air because the dude just grabbed me under my arm. You know what I'm saying? And as I was on there, I kind of was like looking at Pete and took to the left, and I can see the guy behind Pete point right to me, to that guard, and that guard just came right over, and I was just trying to do my best. I was trying to show off for the action for Assange people. And
they don't like any Tulsi Gabbard people.
No.
And also you were talking about Assange.
Assange. So the interesting thing there, which I took a note of, was that Pete dodged that question from Pasta, and his supporters started chanting USA, USA as soon as Pasta was yelling about Assange.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they were directed to do that. And there's evidence of that from the 2016 DNC convention when Bernie supporters would chant no more wars. The Hillary supporters were directed to say USA, USA.
Yeah.
There was a memo about that. That came out in the emails, right? That came out.
Oh, yeah, that came out.
You can't question the state narrative. You're talking about foreign policy. You're talking about civil liberties. Forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. It was the Assange thing that I think really pissed them off the most, fam.
They did that to Leon Panetta. When Leon Panetta came out at the 2016 Democratic Convention, they were screaming, they were yelling, and all of a sudden, they were instructed in this one area to start yelling USA, USA. So,
But he couldn't escape his Wall Street ways, because I caught this video at the McIntyre Shaheen 100 Club event where it was a bunch of neoliberal corporate sellouts. You can see they had tables, and that's where they went. The plebs all got to sit around, and I was supposed to go down there, but they were already full for press.
So this is kind of like a stadium thing, right?
Yeah, and so there Pete Buttigieg started mocking Bernie's revolution. And there was a lot of Bernie supporters there. And the cameras, they never panned to them in the thing. You didn't really get good self-service, so I couldn't post this till after. But I did manage to post it soon after, so you guys can hear it.
Yeah. And that's done on purpose.
With a president this divisive, we cannot risk dividing Americans' future further. Saying that you must either be for a revolution or you must be for the status quo. Let's stay moving forward.
That is it. Bernie voted to confirm this guy. Just want to remind everybody that's why we're watching this.
One chance to defeat Donald Trump. And there is an American majority that is unified not just in who we are against, but in what we are for. Because we are for higher wages and the empowerment of workers. We are for honoring our troops and putting an end to endless war. We are for our teachers and prepared to back them up with a Secretary of Education who believes in public education. We are for creating an American experience where your race has no bearing on your health or your wealth or your experience with law enforcement. That is the America we must build together. And we cannot wait any longer.
So if you guys didn't hear while the burners were shouting Wall Street Pete, the Buttigieg people were saying Buttigieg, Buttigieg,
Buttigieg.
And
Buttigieg.
Remember we ripped up a Buttigieg
We ripped up the sign. The
Yeah.
Buttigieg sign, fam. I'm sorry.
No, and I just want to say, you guys, the reason we're showing this is because Bernie just voted to confirm this guy that was shit-talking him on a national stage full of thousands of people. He just voted to fucking confirm this guy for transportation. And it's just really disgusting to me that he's doing that. And he's going to vote for Neil Tannen. That's why we're watching this, because I want everybody to remember who the fuck Pete Buttigieg was, because this is the United States of amnesia.
Fam, wasn't he just saying that yeah, I'll take that money. It shows you how messed up the system is. But yet he says on stage, well, you're either fighting for revolution or the status quo. Like, you're supporting the status quo.
No.
Holmes.
He said
we can't say
we
that.
can't say that.
We can't.
That Bernie
Okay.
was being divisive because we can't say that.
Yeah, but that says to me that you're not fighting for revolution, that you have to just accept the status quo.
Yeah, that's
for
exactly what he's
That's
saying.
what I'm
Exactly
trying
what
to
he's
say.
saying.
And
That's
it's
exactly
like,
what he's saying.
here's a guy going, yeah, I'll take the money, but it shows you how messed up our system is. So,
And here's Pasta asking Buttigieg what he would do foreign policy-wise on day one as POTUS. And he said he would restore the credibility of the United States.
Hey, Buttigieg, you are one of two veterans in the race. What would you do day one, foreign policy-wise, if you were elected president?
Well, the first job of the next president is going to be to restore the credibility of the United States. When we have a president who turns his back on our allies, when you have a president who short-circuits our own military justice system, to block justice for war crimes and accusations of war crimes, that undermines the very foundation of U.S. credibility and honor around the world. So in addition to the specific foreign policy steps we need to take in order to join with allies on counterterrorism efforts and ensure that we have the right kind of trade for the future that's going to serve Americans well and pull together the country to confront climate change, there's a more basic and fundamental effort, and that is to send the message that America is a country that can be trusted. It will be my top priority in relating with our allies, and a message that will also go to our adversaries around the world.
All right, thank you.
thank you very much.
No, basically
Restore
imperialism.
the credibility. Yeah. Oh, back to imperialism.
Yeah.
You're back to the
It was
crypto fascism.
Yeah,
and,
it's exactly what he. I mean, he's CIA Pete. He's Mackenzie Pete. He's this Pete. So he also shortly before, in November 13th of 2019, he had made a statement regarding the attacks on Israel. And he condemned the rocket attacks on Israel and said Israel has a right to defend itself against acts of terror that set back any progress towards peace and will only serve to inflame the humanitarian situation in Gaza. This was an attack that Israel had actually began and started. And Palestinians were defending themselves. So, Israel was shooting at unarmed Palestinians. Guys, I mean, he took this stance and he was horrible on foreign policy. That's the point I wanted to make. He was horrible on foreign policy. And the last one, or the last two we have, the last one, is the recap of what happened after Iowa. In Iowa thus far, the app failed. Pete Buttigieg put money into the Shadow app. The Sanders campaign's own app showed the inconsistencies. That's why they were able to figure that out. It took 3 days to get 97% reporting, and Bernie starts winning. And Buttigieg camp called the IDP, the Iowa Democratic Party, to complain about weighted delegates. And we saw that with the coin tosses and all of that. And Tom Perez issued a recanvass. Tom Perez was able to reissue a canvass during a primary. Yet when Donald Trump and some of these Trump supporters were trying to reissue a recount, that wasn't allowed. Do you see the double standards here? Do you see? This is what I'm trying to point out here. We have been following the elections and the corruption for a while. None of it started with Trump, and like I said, none of it will end with him.
Isn't it funny the fact that the Convo Couch got there and we kind of talked about the issues with these people when it comes to Pete Buttigieg with his foreign policy and his intelligence community contacts, and the fact he won't answer anything about Assange, talk about that shit, and just gives you fluff. We also talked about Kamala Harris, how she's all for censorship. She was like, "Oh, I'll stick with my point of view to say, hey, we should take down Donald Trump's Twitter." And if you start saying that, it's once again. I mean, look, what, we spotted this in these people a while ago, and you know what? They're not letting us down. They're showing us who they are.